You're ready?
I'm ready. And
So, it is us. It's Hazelnut and
Grape Adler.
we've been gone a while.
Yes.
That is fact,
Yes.
not fiction.
It's summer.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, just been busy, etc., etc. So, so today we're just doing I don't know, what do you want to talk
a random
about?
convo.
A random convo?
Oh yeah, we're a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Background noise.
Background noise, Convos, podcast. Thank you for reminding me.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of got it. We'll do
Yeah.
in unison one day.
One day we will get it on the nose.
It'll be very scary. I should just do it like monotone. Background noise, convo. Like a robot.
Like a robot. I am. You ever try to do the robot?
Yeah, I do the robot all the time. You know this.
That's true.
I don't know why you're asking me that.
Yeah, when I was younger, when it first came out, you know, the 80s, with the, what is it, electric boogaloo? But at home, not.
Before that, the Jackson 5. Michael Jackson did it.
Oh, did it? Was he the first one to originate that?
He wasn't the first one to originate. That's like
Oh.
a street thing. But he was
Oh.
the first one to make it
Public, to
public.
show it.
Yeah. Like in the 70s.
Yeah, to the
And then 10
more
years
mass,
later-
to the mass audiences.
And then 10 years later, he did the moonwalk. So,
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that blew me away. That was pretty
TikTok
cool.
Before TikTok was TikTok. What?
Huh?
Anyway, go on.
Wow. So do you have anything new and exciting to talk about? Just in general?
Not particularly. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Not going to do any
that's
spoilers.
right. Yeah.
Not going to do the spoilers. It was pretty good. I liked it. It
You
was
liked
funny.
it.
So
And you saw it with?
my brother and my nephew. So.
And what was their opinions?
Oh, they loved it.
They loved it,
Especially
yeah.
the beginning. My nephew loved it. So
So, yeah. I figured let's talk maybe music. We'll talk music here and there.
Yeah.
So, growing up, if you remember, I'm trying to remember. So, the peak, like when I was really young, like I'd say between 7 and 13, you know, I loved listening to, I would listen to what my mom would listen to.
Photographs?
No, stop it, no. What mom would listen to, but she loved country.
I thought you said Cab Calloway.
No, well, they listened to Mexican mariachi music and just Mexican music, but I never got into that. But to appease me, and you know,
Gershwin?
what's that saying? Music soothes a savage beast.
Yeah.
I guess I was a little hellion when I was little. So as long as she had like top 10 radio or top 40 radio, I was good. So, and then that's the thing. Radio back then, it's like they played everything. You know, they played anything, everything. You know, you could hear a country song 1 minute, you could hear a pop song, what you would call alternative or folk music or whatever. I mean, not too folky, but you know what I mean. So,
Oh, I had a train of thought. Now I can't remember.
but that was
But that's
those were
when
the
they used
days.
to-
Now everything's separate. If you do listen to radio, it's like everything's separated.
I always catch the ad more than anything. It seems like there's ads
Oh,
because they got
yeah.
to keep afloat. So
Yeah, yeah. And you can listen through a lot of these. But that's the thing, I think that's good. You can listen through a lot of these, I'm doing air quotes, radios through the internet too if you wanted to.
Yeah,
But
you can listen to it.
but still
through
they're
all the different
separated, so-
the streaming services.
Yeah.
But you can listen to live radio still.
Yeah.
So they have. I would say then they used to do on Sundays, and I barely remember this. They used to play whole albums or
Oh,
live
yeah,
albums
yeah.
or live concerts on the
Yeah.
radio of different artists. So
XRT used to do that. I don't know if they still do. I hardly listen to the radio. Because we're in the car, we're not very long in the car, because we usually just do quick local runs to the grocery store if we have to go to
I think our
doctor's
long-
appointments.
Yeah, I think our longest drive is usually 45 minutes.
Yeah,
So for
yeah.
anything, but
Yeah,
even that's not too bad. So.
yeah.
Yeah, they used to do. What were they playing? Was it AC/DC or Led Zeppelin live somewhere one Sunday? I'm like, oh, I remember they used to play the whole album.
Right, right. That was nice. That was fun.
Being myself.
Yeah. And I really, so I had to listen to radio. My parents, that young, they really didn't have money to buy me records, and I didn't have a record player till I was older, and I like
Take
saved
your
up
own job, yeah.
till I saved up money and bought a cute little stereo system. It wasn't even like a big, I just wanted to hear music. So, but I always had the radio on. Usually, I would even put it on when I was not in the shower, but outside.
Right.
I'd have it out on the sink, like on the sink things right there near the sink. So
I didn't have
I was
that.
having on, yeah. They used to have those remember those shower radios?
Oh my god.
Supposedly
yes.
I never got one, but yeah, it's like
waterproof or whatever.
and I would say, I have to listen to music even while you're shower. I was like, yes! That appeased me. And I think that's too, with people, I must have had some sort of ADHD.
I think you have ADHD. I think you still have it.
So my nephew says he has it. And that really soothes him, so he has
Yeah.
music on when he's doing whatever. Unless he's playing game, he's a gamer, so he
He
plays
got
games.
clinically diagnosed.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's part of his thing. He's got ADHD.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
by a doctor. So he's not just saying that.
Yeah, and it's not so bad that he has to take meds.
Right.
But yeah, he's just keep an eye on it, and so and
I didn't have that luxury. I had whatever that big stereo system we had at the old house. What was it, like a big stereo, a tape deck, storage on the bottom, and then two big speakers?
I barely remember.
I remember that because you guys put it in my room because I was at all the hand-me-downs.
Oh,
But I couldn't get, then we moved, and I still couldn't get reception. All I could get was either classical, which I didn't appreciate till later on when I got older,
yeah.
or R&B, or AM. But
Oh,
I
right.
didn't listen to AM, so I listened to a lot of R&B, they called it oldies R&B, Snoopy Robinson, Aretha Franklin, which it wasn't bad, I like
Oh, yeah,
it.
I
but,
love that too. Yeah,
But yeah,
that's the thing though. You could hear R&B, like R&B, rock, country, and like different things. And so mom too, but she would put it on the country, so she'd listen to Tammy Wynette. So, what was the other one? Loretta Lynn and
Martina McBride.
Yeah, Martina McBride, and I'm trying to think. It's like a bunch of those. I really wasn't into. She was into it still, but that or Spanish music. But yeah.
They had, I forgot what to say. Oh, you know how I used to, because I used to, when I got old enough, I needed music too. Mm-hmm. And remember I used to have the CD, I had to have a CD in the car, my CD player, like a Sony Walkman CD player. Yeah. And, man, I went through batteries so bad. And then you had the big book, but then I had to have like a smaller book with me for travel of my CDs.
Oh, that's right. You
I
had
did
book
have
of CDs
cassettes for a while, and then I converted to CDs.
Yeah.
But do you remember? But then our nephew just, this past week, his earbuds started going out. He's like, I'm going old school, and he had the CD that you found him. It was a Sony.
It was mine actually. It was an extra,
okay.
yeah. But I gave it to him because he needed something. So.
Sony Walkman Discman. Mm-hmm. And his CD to go walk the dog because he usually put on his, I don't know, I think he has Spotify too or something. Oh. So yeah. But yeah, he couldn't listen to it, so he's like, and he had the big old wireless, but the big ones for over the ears.
Oh, right, over the ears.
I'm going old school. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
but yeah,
goodness.
I have a big CD collection, and the only reason is because I pick some up at the Goodwill outlet. It used to be Goodwill. I used to pick them up, and they were even 99 cents. They were actually 1 cent more at the outlet, but still, when you find,
depending on what it was, some things are a little more expensive.
And then the stores, yeah. Sometimes they were
regular
$1.99, $2.99. I think it depended on, but they're all $1 at our closest Goodwill outlet. So I found quite a few CDs. But yeah, I play those on. You could play them on your Blu-ray. Whoever has a DVD player or Blu-ray player, they'll play those music CDs. Yeah. So, and I have both. I have a DVD player, and that DVD player has where you could throw it on a thumb drive, so you can copy those over if you wanted to digitize them. And then and my Blu-ray player plays it, but that's fine. It's like I did get a record player quite a few years ago. I don't have a lot. I think I have like 60 records. which is like nothing to some, vinyl collectors at all. But I try not to because I don't really have the room right now. So try to get more.
Just seeing Rolling Stone music in Norwich, Illinois. They had they were like, if you're looking for artists or the artist's record, come to our store. And they have for Lala, because Lollapalooza is going on around right now.
Oh yeah,
so,
Lollapalooza, yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know. It's just really humid. I don't know how they could take it.
Oh my God, it's so hot here, and yeah, it's got. I wonder if they have a little bit of relief because they're by the lakefront.
That's
lakefront
true.
store,
Maybe.
so, yeah.
Maybe.
Anywho, yeah. Oh, I was gonna say something now. I forgot. No, it's okay. It'll come back to me hopefully. Sorry. Anything else that? Oh, there was something else I was gonna mention about music and.
Was it about? When you used to listen to it on the old cranking.
No, stop it. The gramophone.
The gramophone, there you go.
Oh gosh, but no, I started off saying, I used to listen to, when I was really young, so I'd listen to early, 70s country rock. That appeased me. Really the rock. I like I said, I love listen on the radio. And then when I got into the 80s, oh my God, that was like one of my favorites because I loved like Duran Duran, the Human League, Eurythmics, Culture Club. There's a ton of them. The Thompson Twins. Oh, there's like tons. The Wham, and they were awesome. We go into Berlin. We go, what is that? Missing Persons. All these little. They may seem obscure, but I really like them. I like their sound. Blondie, oh my God, Blondie, big Blondie fan. I love Blondie.
They have, this year is the 1984 anniversary of 1984, 40 years.
Oh my gosh.
That
I feel so old.
Big year was like what? Van Halen, Purple Rain. I can't even remember them all. There's just like it was like a monumental year in music.
Wow. And the thing that gets me is like. The kids today, I hate when they put the labels on Gen X, Gen Z, Millennials, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. But the kids today, that's what I'll say. Some kids, like, have never heard, like, it kills me when some kid says, who's Michael Jackson? I'm like, seriously? Who's Michael Jackson? Right. Let me tell you. Yeah. But I've said this before. Music is new to someone who's never heard it. So I don't care if it's 40 years old. If it's great music, you might like it. You take a listen, you might like it. Also, the first time, when did I hear it? It had to be, I want to say in middle school. Mm-hmm. And they played classical music. And I've heard of classical music. And, you hear it sometimes in
commercials, movies.
Cartoons.
Oh, yeah, like, cartoons, that's right.
Like Looney Tunes. And I'm like, so they'd play one, like The Flight of the Bumblebee is a good one they use sometimes in cars. I was like, oh, I've heard this, and that's what that is. And they said who the composer was, and it just, I really liked it. I really like a lot of classical music. Don't ask me what the movement names are, but right. The movement piece, or the pieces as they call them, something like that. But I love Mozart. Most Mozart. I have a folder on my Spotify called Mostly Mozart. So. And sometimes I'll put that on, especially if I need to concentrate on something. When I was at my last job, I would do that, especially dealing with numbers. It's like, because then you're not paying attention to what they're saying.
The lyrics.
Yeah. So that's very, yeah. Yeah.
Or you could listen to our podcast.
And when I was sick, when I was sick, I had my Kindle and I had the Spotify on, and I was like, that helped me a lot. It's like zone out, especially because my mom stayed with me. She was nice and she wanted to, and I'm like, well, if you really want to, and but she would watch her freaking. All right, I know some people like it, but I don't. Hallmark movies. So to zone that out, I'd have my music on. She's cracking up. So I had to have my music on, and all that is a healer to me. It seems music heals your body, your soul.
I was gonna say something now, I forgot, but. Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's see. Then in the 90s, grunge. I love grunge, like Nirvana, and who else was out there? I'm trying to think. Toadies, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, yeah, Oasis.
Sonic Youth.
And going to 2000 Sonic Youth, yeah. I didn't get into them until a little later. Smashing Pumpkins, oh my god. No doubt. Big fan. Right now, and still they're my top two. It's like, I love Smashing Pumpkins and No Doubt. I could listen to them anytime. And like recent artists, I really can't get into them. I just can't. I try, and I just can't get into them. Is there any? And like the more newer ones to me are like Amy Winehouse. If you say new, Adele's okay. Sam Smith is okay. I like Beck too. I like Beck.
I had what's her name? Maren Morris. You know The Middle, that song?
I might have.
You probably heard it. But... Anyway, well, she was a country artist, but then she left country. So now she does, I guess it'd be pop or whatever, or just like singer-songwriter maybe.
Oh, okay.
But she's got a couple good songs, and she just came out with a what do they call that? EP? It's called Intermission. I'm like, oh, okay. So she just came out. So she's a newer one that I like.
Right.
So she's like probably the newest one.
Oh, maybe as I'm editing this, I will like pull some songs from different bands we talk about. So, anywho.
What else? Let's see. I'm trying to think of newer artists too. There's very few and far between for me too.
So what do you try to go through the timeline like I did? Like between the times you were like maybe 5 to 10, do you remember even what you would listen to, or is it just kid music?
I didn't listen to much because I didn't have much.
Oh,
and like I said, I was limited on the.
But what did you remember listening on the radio? Would you listen? What would
whatever you guys listen to. Well, you because Dad played in talk radio, so he wouldn't let me touch the radio. Mom didn't care, but Dad did. But you played. I remember whatever you played on, like the 80s music.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What was the one the other day that I was like, oh, I forgot about that song. Pretty Poison. Catch Me I'm Falling. I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about that song.
I'm falling.
So when I remember it, I put it on my YouTube music list.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I gotta put that on there. So
Wow.
I liked a lot of Fleetwood Mac. I remember when you guys played that.
Mac. Oh my gosh, that was we talked about this before. That was the first album I ever bought. Oh.
What was the other one? What was the one? Tango the Night. That was the one when I was little. So what was that? Had to be 6. And I remember you guys playing. That was like the popular on the radio. I'm trying to think. There was something else and I was like, oh, what was it? Who's the one?
Rumors is my first song. I love that whole album.
I always remember Terrence Trent D'Arby.
Oh yeah. Who's what's his name now?
He's got a different name.
Sananda. Starts with an M something. But yeah, he's great.
Pause it. What's going on over here?
Okay, so yeah. So what other things do you remember listening to besides my music? When you were real little, you would just listen to what we would listen to.
Yeah, because I didn't have access, and then what I really wanted to listen to, I doubt you let my little grubby hands on your cassettes,
stereo and all that.
No, your cassettes and your records, especially your records.
And even then, I didn't have a lot of vinyl. I have vinyl that's
you had more cassettes
in storage, but it's not. It's like maybe 25, so I didn't even have a lot then either. But what I do remember is I remember getting Duran Duran's Rio. Vinyl. That's the vinyl I had. I have Eurythmics somewhere in storage. It's all in storage. What else do I have? I have. I think I have Yaz. I have. I'm pretty sure I have Rumors still, but in storage. And what else? Those are the time like. Not me. It wasn't me.
Purple Rain. We had Purple Rain at one point.
Saturday Night Fever. That for sure. And that's all I can remember from the top of my head. But so what did my brothers listen to that you listened to?
Well, and then I didn't finish my story.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't finish my music journey.
Okay, go ahead.
So then when
musical journey.
When I got to be like 9 or 10, Mariah Carey came out.
Oh.
You know my obsession with Mariah Carey.
Yeah,
she's
on this
a big
Mariah Carey fan.
She was 1990, so I was 9. Yeah, 9. And my brother got me her cassette. That was my first cassette.
Oh,
it was gifted. And then New Kids on the Block. I got a bunch of those for birthday and Christmas.
Which she dragged me to a show, like what, 12 years ago or
something like that. When they came back, I'm like, I'm going to my New Kids show. I never got to go when I was younger. Just as crazy.
Yeah.
Only now everyone's drunk, so everybody has alcohol. I'm trying to think. I really liked Boyz II Men 2 from 94, I think it was, because I was in middle school. I'm trying to think. There's a lot. SWV. Tevin Campbell. Again with R&B and the
New Edition. You like them?
I liked New Edition, but I didn't like listen to them like I did with like Boyz II Men, Tevin Campbell. Yeah. Who else? Of course, Will Smith.
Lionel Richie.
Oh shit. Celine Dion, I would say, Whitney Houston, all the divas.
She would have Dancing on the Ceiling by Lionel Richie on repeat.
I thought it was all night long.
Oh, sorry, all night long. You like Dancing on the Ceiling too.
All of his stuff, but when I was little,
most of his stuff,
it was like, one more time.
Yeah.
And so, to appease me, they would just play it over and over.
Were you ever into the Kids Bop?
No, that was before my time. I mean, that was after my time. I was,
okay.
So. What was I gonna say? I ruined because I like the soundtrack too. I still like the soundtrack. Dirty Dancing soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch that movie over and over. My one brother hates that movie because I used to watch it over and over again, so he can't stand it. I'm like, whoops.
I'll try to find some tracks from that. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? So where are we going here? So yeah, and then I got into the Beatles and Fleetwood Mac. Well, I still like Fleetwood Mac, but I didn't listen to Rumors. I listened to Tango in the Night, and then when they came back in '96 with the Live and the Beatles when I was in high school. So, and then I started listening more because everybody was listening to pop music, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. I listened to that a little bit, but I wasn't as rabid a fan as everybody in the choir room. They played. I'm like,
Right.
I'd be in my, I don't know, I'd be listening to Wings or something. So I'd listen to everything else. I was listening to like 70s music at that point.
Yeah.
So I had gotten out of the diva phase into my soft rock, I guess you call it.
Oh, that's the other thing. I loved Boston and Kansas and Supertramp and what's that other one? Who sings Dire Straits, Journey. Yeah. And then as an adult, I got into the blues. And what was the other one I was going to say? Oh, God. Oh, like the Ramones, like punk and ska. More ska other than...
Clash. I like the Clash.
The Clash. Yeah, I got into those as a later as an adult.
And what was the one that you used to listen to?
Madness.
I was gonna say Madness.
Madness, the Specials.
Anyway, so
Ooh, that one is Special, aka Free Nelson Mandela. I used to have that, and I loved that song. Free Nelson Mandela. Sorry, my voice cracked.
wow.
Nelson Mandela. They say.
Okay.
I'll try to put it in here if it's still available.
I remember that song.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty much my.
And then from the 80s, because I loved UB40, I got into, I'm like, because I saw an interview with them, and they were talking about what their influences was, and a lot of their songs were remakes of old songs. Covers of old reggae songs. So then I'm like, I want to check them out, and I really liked them. So I love a lot of the 50s, 60s, 70s, mostly 70s reggae, and then within reggae, I had no clue that there's different genres, subgenres within that, like lovers rock, ska's part of that. What's that one that like the Scientist? There's a lot of some of them that are just music too, more music, bass heavy. Yeah, so, and like, there's some other ones I just can't remember. And there's Toasting, like Brigadier General, I'll throw some in there for you. Sugar Minot, once I found him, Gregory Isaacs. I love all that.
I found one CD of his once. Gregory Isaacs, he's very hard to find at the thrift store.
Yeah.
I found it once. I'm like, who's this? You're like, oh my God. I'm like, I didn't know.
Yeah, she's like, does this look, she's like, I think this is reggae. I'm like, yes it is.
Because I was looking at the like Island Records.
Yeah.
I look at labels because then you can indicate where it comes from. And it's like, I think this is reggae.
Yeah.
So we'll try. Yeah. Or some kind of like island.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I have a lot of compilations too, which is nice because then you get to hear different artists that you might not know are reggae, but they're in the compilation CDs or so I found a couple vinyl, one or two vinyls that are that, but mostly CDs. I don't know if I've ever found, Have I ever found reggae on cassette? If I do, it's minimal.
Yellow Man on cassette.
I might have way back when. Oh, El General, I had. He's a South American reggae guy. Tried to put some in there. I almost forgot about it. El General. Yeah, the General.
Yeah. What? Oh, okay. What was your next question? Oh, the boys or brothers?
Boys. What did they were mostly into rock, right?
Well, I know the younger of the two of my older brothers, I should say. They would be
I'm the
your
oldest,
two younger.
she's the youngest,
Yeah.
so and there's two boys in the middle.
The one closer to me would be, because they had those little shelves that had the cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
So he had Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff. I want to say...
I wonder if he still has them.
Beastie Boys.
I can see that.
And that's all I can remember. I can just remember those two. And then the other one was all like Megadeth, Cinderella.
Yeah, he loved that. Yeah.
He still likes it. Anthrax.
Quiet Riot. What was that other one? Quiet Riot. Along the line, Slaughter.
Like it was all
Rat.
heavy metal. Yeah,
Rat.
It was all heavy metal. Warrant.
Yeah.
It was all heavy metal.
Yeah. Cherry Pie and all that. And which I like too. And I loved like AC/DC, Rolling Stones, The Who.
That's not heavy metal.
Rush. No, but they're more rock.
Oh, okay.
Rock oriented. Rock. No, I heavy metal, I don't think I really listened to any heavy metal. I like some OTEP. You know OTEP?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else. And Smashing Pumpkins kind of can grind because so there's some that are grungy, especially in the 90s during grunge. It's like
They pull a little rock. Sometimes and some.
Because he runs the gamut. He runs, the earlier stuff. Some like Cherub Rock and Rocket. You can really hear the blazing guitars, which I love.
What was the one? There is one heavy metal band I have on my thing. I would have to look. I can look really quick because I have it on my thing. But it's a ballad, of course. So I'm like, okay, that makes more sense for me. Hold on.
And Kiss. You've been to a Kiss concert, right?
It was Kiss, Ted Nugent, and Skid Row.
Wow.
But not Sebastian Bach. He was gone by that point. He wasn't in the group anymore. What was I looking for? Here it is. Scorpions.
Oh, the Scorpions.
Winds of Change.
Oh, Winds of Change.
That's it.
Still Loving You. That's a good one too.
That's a good one too, actually.
Yeah,
I should
Still
put that
Loving
down
You.
there. But yeah, it's one of the ones.
Oh, and did you say Dio? The my younger older brother loved Dio.
Oh,
Dio.
yes.
Yeah, Ronnie James.
Yeah. They're just talking about that somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, that was all his stuff.
I don't know. I'm forgetting a lot because that's the thing. We could never, ever do a reaction. You know how people react to songs?
Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot of them. I've heard of a lot of bands too.
A lot of people like Rush, I notice on those. Yeah. That's like the one thing people get suggested.
They never heard them. Never heard of them.
You know what, to be honest, I never really knew who Rush was. I think I've heard some of their songs, but I didn't know who they were until I Love You Man with Jason Segel and Paul Rudd. Because they went to the concert.
Slap in the bass?
Yeah, Slap in the Bass. That's a big part of that movie.
Oh.
So, and I was like, I kind of like this. And then I started getting to Rush, and that was, 15 years ago?
Yeah, and Geddy Lee does have a very unique voice, and some people are turned off by it, but I love it. Yeah. That's what makes him different. You can tell. Yeah. That's like almost as like a signature. So yeah.
Rush.
And Spirit of the Radio was the first Rush song I ever heard, and that was in middle school, and I was like hooked. I'm like, it made me so happy, the music, and the way the arrangement and all that. It was so cool.
The best thing besides, what are those things called, those fries? I can't remember.
Fries?
What are those, that dish called?
Poutine?
Poutine, that come out of Canada.
Gosh. The other good thing to come out of Canada. Russian poutine. Yeah, have you ever had poutine?
No.
How can you say that then? But it's potato, syrup. So it's got to be good. Oh, maple syrup.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. I can't imagine it being. But someone has poutine.
Oh, here you can get poutine somewhere.
I know where it was. It's the McDonald's University. Because they do international, they change it every quarter or something.
Oh, gotcha.
And they had poutine.
Gotcha.
I was like, dang it. So almost, yeah. They had that selling in Canada.
That's our little discussion on our musical journey throughout our lives. And there's 17 years between us. So that's why, it's like that. It runs the gamut. Like, she likes, like, probably your remembrances for music that happened when you were alive were 80s and on. And me, 70s and on. So, yeah. And plus, you know, you hear on the radio, they'll play oldies. I'm doing air quotes, which are like, now oldies are anything prior to 2010s or 15, even 15s. It's like so scary, but anyways. All right. Thanks for listening, and
See you later.
alligator.
Bye.
After a while.
Wow. Crocodile?
See you soon.
You're not going to be laughing when that crocodile comes around the corner and you're like, oh, you said I will see you later.
All right, bye.